Hiya, so this is my first video about silk reeling, really taking you through the fundamentals and the basics that you need to know as a beginner. Now, as you may know, if you've attended my classes, or you may not know if you haven't attended my classes, that is that silk reeling and Tai Chi go hand in hand. So silk reeling is Tai Chi, Tai Chi is silk reeling. You can't really differentiate the two, but what we do is we use silk reeling exercises to train the coordination, the alignment, the structure of the body, all of the foundational principles of Tai Chi, so that that then informs your movement throughout the Tai Chi form. And so what we're going to do now is really start off those basics from the Chen-style family and the Chen-style lineage. Okay? So what you're going to start to do now is you're going to take a wider position, just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Now, if your legs aren't strong enough for that, just go for shoulder width apart. Doesn't really matter a huge amount to begin with, because as you develop your strength, you'll be able to take a wider stance. So that's absolutely fine. Just go with what is comfortable and the natural range of movement for your body, because that's also what's important here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check on my feet, which you need to do too. This is really important, is we need to check feet alignment so that they then allow the necessary movement and rotation of the legs, the hips, the torso, and so forth. So what I want to do now is I want to have my feet so that they are parallel, or maybe just ever so slightly pointing out. But we need them symmetrical, so we need to make sure that really the feet look the same on each side. Everybody has some asymmetry in their body. Everybody tends to be slightly different on one side or the other. So we want to begin as we mean to carry on, which is really to work on developing and enhancing the symmetry that we have in our body to create balance and harmony. So we want to iron out the asymmetries that we might have developed over the years. Okay, so check carefully with feet. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to develop and really allow the weight to sink down. So we want to be really nice and relaxed. So the knees bend and you feel all of your weight sinking down, but in a nice relaxed way. So you want to feel everything sinking down into the feet. Okay? And we want to have the head floating up, weight sinking down. And then we want to just relax. So that's the most important thing for a beginner to do, is just to begin to relax and then to just calm everything down. So this really needs to be like a calm, still, relaxed process that we're going to learn here. Okay? So sink the weight down, feel all of that going into the feet, bend the knees. The knees really need to be bent to be able to do silk reeling properly. Sink the hips down a little bit, head floating up. Okay? So we're not going to worry about any other postural aspects right now. They come later on. So, following me in this exercise, you're going to do this mirror image to me. Okay? So, I'm going to put my right hand up on my hip, and you put your left hand just sitting there comfortably on the hip. And then I'm going to bring my left hand out in front of me, and you will bring the right hand out in front of you. So this now needs to be hanging there nice and relaxed as well. So it's sort of floating in front of you rather than being held. Okay? And the hand is nicely relaxed. It's not stiffly open and it's not crunched up, but it's nicely open and it's relaxed and natural. And it's sitting in front of the dantian. So the dantian is 3 fingers approximately below your navel and in your center of the body. So you just think that this hand is sitting at an extension from the dantian. So we're going to start off. This is movement number 1. And then what you're going to do is you're going to shift a little bit of your weight across to your left, and then the arm floats up. here, I want to check in, palm is facing downwards, and your elbow is sunk slightly below the wrist, and that your shoulder is nice and relaxed and sunk as well. And you also want to check in here before we start any movement that your hand is in front of the body. It's not over like this, it's nicely in front of the body. Okay, so this is position number 2. And then you're going to shift the weight across to your right. And here, you're going to see that the palm now faces outwards. Your weight is in your right leg. Again, elbow is sunk, shoulders sunk. This is position number 3. And now you're going to allow your elbow to sink down, like so. And the elbow sinks down to about the waist level. Natural sinking, and it's coming in towards the body, but it's not rigidly against the body, okay? So yeah, I can think that you have a little bit of cotton wool between the body or the waist and your elbow. And here, your palm is kind of nicely aligned with the way that your leg is, and with the palm up like so. So weight in the right, elbow sunk, shoulders sunk, and the hand is just naturally hanging like this rather than being held, okay? So just allow it to hang naturally with a little bit of intent to it so it's not completely slack. So that is number 4. And then we move back. So weight shifts across, so it's going to shift across to your left. And then the hand comes in to the dantian, to in front of the dantian, palm facing up. So now we're in position 1 again, but at this time your weight has shifted. So your weight is in your left leg, okay? And again, hand nicely relaxed in front, position 1. So arm floats up with elbow going forward, palm faces downwards. Shift your weight across into number 3, palm is outwards, weight is in your right hand leg. Sink the elbow, comes down, like so. Now the palm is slightly facing up. Shift the weight across, and the hand comes in, and the arm comes in towards and in front of the dantian. So now, again, your weight is across to the other side, so your weight should be in your left leg. Elbow forward, arm floats up. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 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 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And back to 1 again. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to do it silently without talking you through, and just mirror me. Okay, good. So we're now going to transfer and do the other hand. So for now, center your weight, bring your right hand up to your hips, and bring your left hand in front of the dantian. Position number 1. So now you're going to shift your weight to your left, to your right. So you're now going to shift your weight to your right. And then the arm is going to float up to position number 2. So here, palm is facing down, elbow sunk, and your shoulder needs to be sunk as well. Remember, weight sinking down into the legs and into the feet. So your legs are nice and relaxed, not being held really rigid, okay? So this is position number 2. So you shift the weight across to your left, and the palm faces outwards. Again, elbow sunk, shoulder sunk, weight sunk. Sink the elbow down towards the wrist, to the waist, and so. And now the palm is kind of facing upwards, okay? Shift the weight across, arm and hand and palm come to in front of the dantian, and now your weight is in your right hand leg. Elbow forwards, arm floating up, palm facing down, position number 2. Shift the weight across, palm out, think elbow sunk, shoulder sunk. Your weight is in your left now, and then sink the elbow down to the waist, palm facing up. Shift the weight across, arm and palm come in front of the dantian, and now your weight is in your right. Position number 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in silence, There you go. So silk reeling basics give you the fundamentals to practice with regularly. Thank you.